Um, I just want to thank you for the consistency, right? Because we're all needing to understand how these opportunities work so that we're able to time and execute uh, a winning strategy, not a losing one. It just seems like human nature. We like to repeat our mistakes, which is to put our trust in people. And it's always easier to trust the same people, even though they have helped us lose, we still choose the easiest way to trust the same people using the same strategy, and we expect a different outcome. So I know this is a lot of hard work, both for you, me, and the people who are listening. This isn't the easiest thing, but to win is never easy because you need to be better than most. We went over probability in the last class, right? And the probability of not learning anything new, relying on trusting the same people and using the same strategy yields the same results, And when that strategy doesn't work out, it's very easy to just go, okay, well, it's not my fault, it's someone else's. And then you have a long list of people to blame. I understand there's not that many people who are ready to learn and grow and execute the right strategy. But I guess we don't need that many people to learn and grow and execute the right strategy. We just need a small core group of people and for everybody to come in later, realizing that they had the opportunity to execute the right strategy, yet they didn't, they didn't execute the right strategy. I don't have my whiteboard on me. I didn't have even my chair or my table or my pen or pencil today. But I want to go beyond probability today and just talk about the mindset of success. And the mindset of success is all about, what you're doing is right, and you just keep doing it, and knowing that there will always be people you end up helping, and many people who will misinterpret the message again. So there's a few things I want to highlight that I did right. And of course, there's many things that I could have done better, but I want to highlight a few things I did right. One is to make sure that I've been accessible to everyone. So everyone had my phone number. Everyone had my email and everybody could reach out to me. And yes, of course, there's people who choose to not do that because, I'm not always responsive. But I guess the people choose not to do that because they just feel it's always easier to just trust the people that are spending the time and energy to convince them. Now, the people who are spending the time and energy to convince them, of course, benefit from your participation because they need to be rewarded for that process. But to convince you, they can choose to be representing the most accurate, well, not the most accurate side of the opportunity. They can choose to represent only what is attractive. So if you look at a model where we've clearly explained the management fees, the proof of reserves, the marketing budget, and you're participating into an opportunity that allows you to be rewarded from the marketing budget, be assigned an allocation of a proof of reserve assets. And of course, as an opportunity progresses to a later stage, you're able to benefit more by receiving more because, well, guess what? You're participating in the middle, so you're receiving a little bit more. And so all those factors are put in place. And yet, when the numbers don't meet expectations, they feel that they end up in a situation where, because I should have known better, I should have told them things. Now, the thing is, I do tell a lot of people a lot of things, but not everything I say seem to be getting through. And that's fine, right? I mean, it's not fine for expectations not to be met, but it is fine because, from my point of view, I've stuck to the rules. And the rules help some people succeed and some other people not succeed. If we look inwards at the failures, and now knowing that it is important to grab the data, to read the numbers, and to strategize based on the transparency that I've always been willing to give, the question now is, are you more probable to succeed this time, or are you more probable to fail? Because most people will again choose to ignore the numbers, to misread the messaging, and to continue to trust people that have failed them time and time and time again. It's always easier to have other people make your decisions. But I think when we're building towards our own financial success, we need to put on our own critical thinking caps on and look at what other people are doing and how they can continue to succeed every single time when we have continued to fail every single time. Now, the problem is people who are successful don't necessarily want to share a successful strategy with you. Because if they share a successful strategy with you, then they lose you as a source of income. It's gotten to a point where if the market is not seeing the transparency of the model involving a management fee, a marketing budget, a proof of reserves, and a dividend policy, then this space which has been highly uninstitutional, will continue to stay highly uninstitutional. We have, through cryptocurrencies, a chance to turn a highly uninstitutional space institutional so that more money comes in. And when more money comes in, it's like a rising tide. When a rising tide comes in, all the boats are lifted. And so get ready to see an extra couple of zeros to whatever is in your bank account. When a rising tide lifts all boats, then you're in a space where you can make life-changing money as liquidity leaves the traditional market, which is also institutional, into this new institutional market that is now becoming more and more transparent. So, it's not easy. It's not easy to repeat myself and having most of the people not listen. But I have to keep doing it because I know what I'm doing is important. I know what I'm doing is helping push this market forward. And I know at the end of the day, the world only remembers you for the last thing you do. And if the last thing you do is failure, then you can write your life. You can write what you do off in life, and you have no explanation to your friends, to your family, and to everyone who trusted you in the past. And yes, there's plenty of people who trusted me in the past. There are still a few small groups of people who do trust me to this day. And what it means is I need to continue to do what I believe is right, to continue to serve those who are ready to listen. And that is why Maths Club exists, because there are plenty of people who look at the business model and say, well, early people make money, people who come in at the end lose money. And I'm just looking at them and saying, well, why don't you come early then? Why don't you win? Instead of just saying, this is greed, this is not fair, and that you should stop. Because it's not my fault I got my first Bitcoins in 2010. It's not my fault for 13 plus years later, a Bitcoin has chosen to no longer be worthless. I got in early. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I got in early. And for everyone who's involved in Bitcoin or thinking about getting involved into Bitcoin, I say it's not late. It's not late. My predictions have come correct. People, of course, are unhappy that even though my predictions are correct, they didn't get more. They didn't get more. And so, okay, I now understand. People want to make more. So you know what we need to do? We need more people in control of their own destiny, becoming project owners, launching, creating their own consensus, and going through the entire process. So I'm looking at what we're doing now, This is all training. This is all training. Mathematically speaking, we could all do the numbers and realize that the training is bringing more people onto the winning side. And I just want more people to win even bigger. So there will be exciting things in 2024 because we'll very quickly have 100 opportunities in this little training platform called Vend. And then we could expand to me just making some phone calls and bringing on opportunities that will use the stable DAO database. So if you have a Vend account, you'll have an account everywhere else where we will bring 100 opportunities outside of Vend as well. Now imagine all the mistakes because of a lack of knowledge you've made in Vend coming in at the end of an opportunity or not selling in an opportunity in Vend. Imagine all those assets transferred into tier one opportunities that are running into a bull market, being able to be fully liquid in opportunities through the stable DAO ecosystem. So, you know, those big balances you have in Vend, I'm not saying you'll get all of it, but getting something in a tier one opportunity is still better than having them sit there in Vend trying to find a solution through Vend. So I love everyone's effort. I love everyone's energy. And I do believe that after we all see the patterns and all understand how these opportunities are evolving, we're able to then leverage the hell out of the rising tide. I want to also mention one thing. If you look at all these opportunities that are either using a past database, you know, for example, people are asking me, am I involved in DAOversal? The answer is no. Okay. I mean, their office is, you know, in Dubai. I know the guys. But at the end of the day, right, look at what they're doing. Last week, they put on discounts. Why? Because their opportunity is reaching the middle. So people, once they see the data, can recognize the patterns. But the only way you could see the data is if through Vend, I force the data on you, force the numbers on you. Everybody who's doubting the data, to be honest, you just have to ask yourself. There is just the referral bonuses, the people who are selling tokens, you know, all these moving parts. Okay, it is simply not worth manipulating data like this. Okay, just like how a traditional stock exchange, it's just not worth them doing that. Okay, because what we're trying to do is train people. And if you don't have a right and accurate daily reports, daily data, then you cannot be in a position where people are seeing the cause and effects of their decisions. The cause and effects of their decisions. So, for example, um, before Nandi brought her opportunity to accept B Rugby, she wanted to understand how many B Rugby token holders there are and how many tokens they hold, right? Very simple. Just produced an export, sent it to her. Done. Along with usernames and the amount of tokens. And then she's able to strategize how to bring on engagement and bring them across. And that's what I'm talking about. You understand that I've been in this space for long enough. Use me as a tool to really gain the understanding of this space so that you're able to be on the winning side. And when you're on the winning side, again, in a rising tide, that's when we are able to really elevate our thinking and our ability to help the people around us to continue to win. Because guess what? The patterns and the days where we have to win, but the people we lead don't necessarily have to win, are numbered if we bring them into a transparent ecosystem. Because the pattern of having you win and not everybody around you winning is difficult to maintain if someone out there is able to speak to your same community in a more logical fashion using data. Because at the end of the day, people are here to seek leadership that truly can generate them a successful outcome each and every single time, and not to help them lose each and every single time. And so if we have the transparency, we have the rule setting, then there is no one to blame but yourself when things don't go wrong. And that includes trusting the wrong leadership. So I believe we're now building a very small but tight group of honest leaders who are able to very quickly pick up a large group of people from the market because they're finally able to, through the data, not only show the data, because, hey, showing data is one thing, but transparently explain the strategy on how to take action based on that data. You do that once, you do that twice, you do that 3 times, and guess what? Adding 3 extra zeros to someone's balance sheet is life-changing money to them. So 2024 is happening. We will have, by the end of Q1, over 100 projects on Vend. And of course, by the end of the year, 100 projects through Stable DAO. The message might have gotten lost, but I'm sure as long as I keep consistent with the messaging, it will come back to people. I always said recruitment was the hardest thing for leaders in this space. So just build once into a singular database that exists across every opportunity out there. And get everybody into the opportunity on day 0. And the easiest way to do that is if everything is built once and everybody's ready to go. And finally, we need to look at the data we need to plan when to sell and also protect our 1x so that we can always be in a strong position to start all over again, because everything has to come to an end. And when we've earned more than what we put in and it comes to an end, we celebrate. Yes, there will be sad, broken people who are only left with the assets in the proof of reserves. But guess what? We need to then be in a position to explain to them that it's up to them now to come onto the winning side, and show them exactly how to come onto the winning side. And of course, through doing so, become better leaders ourselves and also help them succeed, finally succeed, for them to finally win again and again and again. So, yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, everyone.